September could be the most dangerous month for altcoins. No one has noticed the reason why, but history proves it, and today I'm going to explain it to you. September is one of my two favorite months of the year. The weather is mild, the sea is warm and calm as a sheet. In other words, it's a month of pure tranquility. But this September may not pass so peacefully for cryptocurrencies. Today I'm going to talk about this. Without further ado, let's get into our video. As you can see on the screen right now, today there was a 67-69% expectation of a rate cut in September, meaning it was low. This was reflected in the altcoin market as well. We also started a live broadcast and the Fed chairman spoke. Look, the probability of a rate cut in September jumped from 69s, even 67s, up to 89s and 92s. This is a very positive development. While you're enjoying the market and everything seems pleasant, you're watching the video of a guy who says, "Be careful, there's a risk in September." Look, we've been seeing a rising Bitcoin dominance since 2021, and altcoins are getting crushed against Bitcoin. Most of them couldn't maintain their value against Bitcoin. On average, they were crushed by about 60%. Some altcoins even suffered losses as high as 70 or 80%. What was dominance again? It showed Bitcoin's share of the total market cap, and today I'm going to tell you something very important about dominance. That is history repeating itself. But before that, I have a small favor to ask. Please like our video, friends. If you want to see more content like this, support us by liking our video. Now we've come to that thing I've mentioned so much, that nobody else has noticed, and that I happen to notice in a rather odd way. I opened the dominance chart and started looking at the August-September transitions. We're looking at 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2022, 2023, 2024, and now 2025, and this has worked almost every year. It's a pattern that has been working for a very long time. What is it? It's this. If dominance dropped in August, it rose in September. If dominance rose in August, it fell in September. Let's take a look together. In August 2016, it dropped, and in September, it rose. In August 2017, it dropped sharply. A drop in dominance indicates that altcoins will rise. This is a very good thing. In 2017, it rose sharply. This repeated in 2018, 2019, 2020, 2022, 2023, and 2024. So, if the same thing happens again in 2025, dominance dropped sharply in August, and actually, even though July and August are summer months, the market performed well. What this means is that most likely, dominance will rise in September, if history repeats itself. This is a risk, but if it happens this way, we can get through it easily. Bitcoin's value will increase, altcoins will either move sideways, drop, or not rise as much as Bitcoin. Our hope is this. Yes, even if dominance rises, at least let altcoins not lose value. Let them either move sideways or rise a little. Since the interest rate cut in September is now certain, everyone thinks there could be a bull run in September. I also say yes, there is a risk. They might give small slaps in September. I don't expect a very sharp drop, but we might see a sideways market, and they may have saved the show for October or November. This is my personal opinion. Nothing you hear in this video is investment advice. So if we see a nice altcoin cycle in October, November, or December, set up your exchange in advance. You can sign up for Binance by scanning the QR code you see on the screen or by clicking the link in the video description, and you can prepare your account by completing identity verification. There will also be a $20 withdrawable reward. Details are in the video description. Now, putting aside this very interesting dominance situation, there's an account on X called GDK Analyse. Friends, I've seen this chart in several places. So this person prepared it and it's been shared in a few places. I found it interesting. It's a chart like this. 2013, 2017, 2021. Bull cycles have been analyzed again. Lately, I really enjoy these retrospective analyses. The first cycle lasted 24 months, friends. The bull cycle. The next one lasted 28 months. And the one after that lasted 33 months. If you notice, the bull cycle has been gradually delayed each time. The yellow area we see here represents the period from the bottom to the halving. Then, the periods from the halving to the peak have been marked as well. And in the first one, it increased by 4 months. In the second, it increased by 5 months. So it might be increasing in 4 or 5 month intervals. Or we might see bull cycles that rise in 4, 5, or 6 month increments. In other words, bull cycles might be getting a bit longer. If you notice, in the first one, we saw a 60,000% increase. In the second, we saw a 10,000% increase for Bitcoin. And in the third, we saw a 2,000% increase. And there is a steadily decreasing rise. We mention this frequently anyway, because now the market is maturing. So, the 2025 bull cycle. I think we are experiencing a bull cycle for Bitcoin. We might see altcoins in the last quarter as well. When we look at this cycle, if this scenario lasts 37 months, Bitcoin will reach the $200,000 level. If this period extends a bit longer, we might see levels of $210,000 or even $230,000. When we look at CoinMarketCap's altcoin index, as I said, we still see that we are not in an altcoin season yet. We are experiencing the rally of the Bitcoin bull, 42, but it's not too bad either. And as I mentioned in the previous video, we are seeing significant inflows of money into altcoins, friends. First, Bitcoin puts on its show, which it is doing. Then Ethereum puts on its show. Now it's Ethereum's turn. After that, majors like Solana and BNB put on their shows. They're doing it too. Now it's the turn of that small altcoin you're holding. I think it will happen with that small altcoin where you've placed your dreams. Especially October and November could be valuable. They might go well. But I'm going to give you an indicator. Forget about the other ones. I'm going to give you the sweetest indicator. When institutions are buying and when individuals start buying, when they're full, when they're in altcoins up to their necks, that's the time to sell and get out. And for that, I use a special algorithm. I'm going to add this to TradingView. There are two applications, the two biggest exchanges in the world. First is Binance, of course. It's one of the biggest exchanges in the world, number one. The other is Coinbase. Right now, Binance is ranked 35th on the App Store. Coinbase is currently ranked 24th on the App Store. When these make it into the top 10, that's probably when it's time to sell and get out. I'll be covering this frequently in my videos. So subscribe to the channel and let's check together in future videos what level these indicators are at. Right now, they're at 24th and 35th place. Let's see what levels they'll reach, friends. You might say, "Teacher, you talked and talked, but we didn't understand anything." In that case, let me answer you like this. Is it a buy or a sell? You're curious about this, and of course, it's not easy to predict. But here's what you can do. Ethereum or Bitcoin, you can use what we call DCA or dollar cost averaging. For instance, if you want to buy $1,000 worth of Ethereum every month, no. Instead, buy $100 worth of Ethereum on the 5th of each month, another 100 the next month, another 100 the month after. This way, you reduce your risk. Of course, this is not investment advice either. This is an investment strategy. As I said, today, Fed Chair Powell spoke dovishly and the markets are rising. But in September, we might see a slight correction or a sideways market. Well, none of these might happen. Of course, we'll see this over time. But the current indicators suggest that we shouldn't be too optimistic about September, but that October and November could go well. That's what I think. I hope my video was clear. You can ask anything that's on your mind in the comments. See you in my next video. Goodbye.